Hey, Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome back to Humankind, where we are embroiled in a trade war with the Harappans, who are now the Mexicans. We're also, I think, just about ready to go to the next era. We're about to hit our scientist stars, 31, and I think that's the trigger pull to go into the next era for us. That's when the rubber meets the road kind of moment there for us. We have also massively expanded across the entire map. Like, we have a ridiculous amount of land. Once we can get this land up and running and developed, we're going to be unmatched in terms of development. It's going to be very, very difficult to stand up to us. And I think a lot of that land development is going to come around 3-masted ship in the next era. So we can start with colony plan and begin our cities with like full infrastructure. And then we'll probably do probably a little bit of conquest over here. We'll start merging a couple of cities, like for example, Zinkera and Macumba. They might merge. Mycenae might merge. We might merge just a few cities together to see what we can do in terms of like just developing as much land as possible across the world. So we'll see exactly how and what we do, but it'll probably look a little bit like that. So I'm looking for harbors that I can pillage on the coastline. That would be like the perfect ideal situation. Speaking of independent people, I'm pretty sure I set up an independent people on my border that I can also assimilate sometime in the future. I don't know if these guys will I got 40 turns to make friends with them. So we got time to make friends. I've multiple fleets coming in from every angle. So I'm hoping that does the job for me. Now we're looking at NASA. Again, I'm kind of like flailing in the dark because it's been a while since I've played Humankind, but I know there's certain things that are good, like artisan workshops, those are good. Charcoal kilns, those are good. Water mills, those are good. Like these basic, always get your production buildings is kind of like a basic thing in any 4X game because production is always like the best yield. So now my river tiles are quite significantly better. Now this city doesn't have a lot of river tiles, which is, fair enough. +1 science per researcher. Yeah, again, the city is just kind of like low on growth. Levy administration, theater. It might be time to just start developing just a little bit of a scientific endeavor here because these science districts are quite good. Now, I do need to actually keep track of the stability in some of these cities as I'm doing this. This game has more potential than Civ, and I love Civ. I think this game has different potential from Civ. I think this game has... Here's the thing. I can fall in love with potential, but I can't really like play potential, if that makes sense. So having potential, I agree, and that's great. But I think we also do need to keep in mind that we need a little bit more than potential. And I think this DLC has sort of helped the game realize some of its potential. Not all of it, but like it's moved a step closer towards realizing its potential. I think I actually just want to go for an alliance here. And then I also want to do shared logistics. They refused. I don't know why you didn't let me do this. But I'm hoping that because I'm allies now, I can heal in their territory and I get all their vision. Holy Jesus. How are they managing this insanity that they call an empire? What's happened here? Harappa went insane, dude. Whoa, what is this? It's a lot of cogs. That's 14 cogs. Okay, I was not expecting 14 cogs. Jesus, what is the combat strength in these cogs? 36. What's the combat strength in my cogs? 39. So mine are stronger. If I can get enough of them over there, it will make the difference. Hey, NASA, why don't you just cancel what you're doing and produce more cogs? Like a lot more cogs. All right, soldiers, into the water. Okay, we are slowly winning this war, but we can't like lose this battle. It'll give them war support. Now, I'm expecting if they're in a stability crisis because of the amount of cities that they've taken and like the fact that they were relying on my trade to keep their empire going, I'm expecting to see a lot of rebels here in the near future. So I'm kind of glad that there's a lot of space between me and them. Yeah, exactly. Parappa. Is that a reference to that game, the dog, where you have to like rap? The rap dog game. Unironically, fighting this battle against these knights buys me time to not have to deal with these enemy boats. So like, this is going to sound so goofy. What if I just didn't kill them? And I got myself a... Well, here's the thing. My ships will get hurt. Okay, I want to screen with my cogs, because if I can get on land... For some reason, like, I don't think I'm going to be able to go onto land with my units, am I? It's not part of the battlescape. He's one-shotting my things. Yeah, I don't think these can get up on land. It's kind of annoying. This is so many cogs. This is an absurd number of cogs. Just gonna let that auto battle. So all of my money is now going into cog production, I'm pretty sure. I thought like sending over 2 fleets of cogs was like enough to make a difference here. It wasn't. My transports were like instantly sunk, and I have like souped up Swahili transports, which is kind of scary actually. So their tech level is not to be trifled with. I think getting a better naval transport is going to be our way out of this, which we can start working on next turn. So that's a really unfortunate battle loss, because that is going to give them some more war support and hurt my war support, which will make the ending of the war a little bit worse. I don't know what's causing this whole camera issue. It has something to do with like the edge of the world. Okay, we got our hamlet in Mycenae. I think I need to start founding more cities. Founding more cities and combining them and expanding them. Let's do farmer's quarters, farmer quarter. I don't know why you think this is better. It's like wild to me. Huh? How is this better? I guess district synergies matter a lot. But I think I'll build these 2 and then start expanding the city out by attaching more territories and building those out. Same sort of stuff in here. Tech is like the big thing that I'm behind on. So if I do a little bit of teching, we'll catch back up. The Defiant Canvas, cultural influences. I think I would like to sponsor art. I think sponsoring art is more fun. There's alchemy research and scientist stars. And now we're going to be transporting to the next era now, because we just got gold science. I could wait 1 turn to pick up maybe the estate star. Would I actually hit it? I would need 600 influence. I won't hit it next turn. So I think I'm going to advance this turn. So let's go into Neth. Drop a Bandari. We're going to start just dropping Bandaris everywhere, because these are worth theoretically a lot of gold over time. So everywhere I can drop these. I probably should have been dropping these continuously, actually, is the reality of the situation. Just drop them where it makes sense. It doesn't have to have like a perfect rhyme or reason. Everywhere you don't have a Bandari, you drop it because it's worth 40-ish gold each. That's why we went mass expansion, so we could drop all these Bandari. Let's have a little look around here. More Bandari. Perfect. Like, it's just a winning strategy to do this. There's no reason that I can discern that you wouldn't do this, aside from the cost, and the cost is relatively trivial. We'll delay my next city, but that's not a big deal. So I think I'm going to start gathering an invasion fleet. The Haudenosaunee have proven to me that they are going to be a problem for this entire game, and that problem isn't going to go away unless I actually do something. Let's go back over to NASA and finish buying some cogs. Okay, stability is great in here. Growth is fine. Let's grab the Alchemist's Workshop for 10% science. It's actually not that much science in here because of the growth. Need like more and more growth as time goes on in here. I think it's just a matter of time. Wait, actually, do we have scientific districts in here? We don't. So I think it's time we got maybe a triangle of scientific districts, like right here. That's perfect. We'll get that one there. 19 science here and here. Let's do it. Stability is pretty low in here. Let's grab Public Fountain. Apothecary and Alchemist Workshop are quite good late game. So we just built all those Bandari. Now we want to advance. And I think we wanted to try do the Maasai. I thought that would be kind of fun. It's another agrarian civ, for sure. I hear you. Okay, I hear you on the agrarian, but we want to try out the African civs here, see how they work together. It's an agrarian. We grow pretty well. 25%. I don't know what this population consumption means, so I'm kind of curious. Like, if I go to let's say I go over here to this city, and it's like, a common's quarter cost 30 pop. Is this going to be minus 25%? You know what I mean? Is the Nuzlocke just over? No, the Nuzlocke will come back. It's just like a matter of time, motivation, and energy, and all that sort of stuff that I've been having trouble with lately. I haven't been sleeping. New games are coming out constantly. I will prioritize the Nuzlocke. It's a long-term project for me now, though. But yeah, let's go Maasai. Because I don't know if this means 25% less food consumption, or if like you use 25% less population when doing certain things. Boom. Let's go Maasai. Tech-wise, I would like 3-masted ship. So I'll put 1 turn into heavy infantry before we switch. I really like these movies still. Nice. We're becoming Maasai. Watching our little cultural buildings change is kind of cool. We already start off with an agrarian star and a builder star. Just how awesome we are doing. So agrarian is going to be like a big deal for us this era. The Enkang is +5 stability per adjacent exploitation. So as far as I can tell, these are kind of like the other ones. They can be placed anywhere, and they just do work, my friends. Oh my god. So let's finish the hamlet. So where was I building that science district, actually? I want to check. -15. So if I place another science district and put it to the top of the queue, it's still -30. So it is food consumption, it seems. It is how much food the population eats. Because I thought it might be, is it how much you chop or is it how much that you eat? If it's how much you eat, that's a huge bonus. We're going to have a huge population. Are you able to toggle skip the scenes? You can skip them. I used to skip them, but my first playthrough, again, when I play the game again, I watch the scenes because I want to look at them with like the fresh eyes of a new playthrough. My goodness, this is a lot of food over here. It's going to be 12 turns for an absurd amount of food. But we will be able to fill this city slots out pretty well. Go ahead and cross the ocean. Now, what is this? Halberdiers, knights, great swordsmen, longbowmen. The longbowmen are very strong, but they are better than my pikemen. I can't actually upgrade the pikemen until these guys give me a logistics treaty, but they're jerks, so they haven't yet. I'll buy their copper. I'll buy their horse. They still don't want this. What absolute jerks for denying me. Like, I'm your ally. I'm here to help you fight. Why are you denying me logistic rights? What the hell is wrong with you? So we're building stacks. We're going to need like at least 20 cogs, I think, to fight them. And then a good few support ships too. But I think this is going to result in quite a good bit of fame here. We should be able to hit this merchant star super easy too, because we're cranking out gold, man. Nice. More cogs. Coggers! Any coggers in chat? I don't like how this army over here is looking at me like a snack, so I'm going to try and retreat away. I have that gripe with allies too. Or yeah. It's annoying. It's annoying for sure. It's not game breaking. It's just kind of like, come on, man. We're a team. To be a team player. I would like to absorb Tolwyn in the near future. Let's keep buying boats, cogs specifically. Any coggers? We're cogging. We're cogging out. You will be upgraded. I like how embarked units are like as strong. Conquered empires. We're winning a battle on Imperialist. Oh, I'm winning battle on relations. So their stability is tanking. So 11 turns and we win this war. It will have hurt my empire significantly to be in this war, but I think their stability spiral, I think, is to my benefit. It's rare that I want to stick out a war for more than like 10, 20 turns. I would stick out this war until the end because it's the best way I can hurt the empire who's in the lead, which is honestly the thing that's most important to me, like emotionally. So the city of Kilwa has, as far as I'm concerned, basically exploited all of its land. If we look around here, like I could add more and more and more and more and more and more, right? In terms of like, I could put more makers' quarters here, but I feel like it would be more efficient if I started to expand the city and like utilized more land. So we'll probably build an Enkang and then look to expand to Lorb. Speaking of NASA, we're up to what looks like 13 cogs, plus we'll have reinforcements in the form of lots of land units. I can't wait to get railroads and stuff like that. A little bit of science osmosis, perfect. There's something about this game that, like, yes, it's a little bit frustrating when things aren't going right, but it really does have that, like, one more turn kind of feel. It really, really does. At least for me. Like, when I'm in it and I'm playing it, I just want to keep playing it. And I will, like, when I finish a game, I'm like, I want to start a new game. I don't know. I know, it's just, the game has me, dude. It absolutely has me. There are new wonders to be claimed here, actually. Machu Picchu, food 1, +1 faith per district. Tokapi Palace, plus 50% money on settled city. Let's just do that. 50% money on settled city. I don't know what that means, but it seems good. We won't build it immediately. We'll get around to it, is the thing. 3 cities need orders. Let's go ahead and start getting these Enkangs. There's a lot of potential food lying around. 42... 42 feels like a good amount. That's going to be a significant amount of population growth. Now, these don't give farmers jobs. They just give lots of food, which is quite good. Let's have a look here. We built a hamlet. So I'm going hard on my emblematic quarter right now, because each one can give like 40-ish food each. Stability in Garama needs work. And I think we had decided that garrisons were the way. Because like garrisons next to my harbors are worth like 25 stability each. which is absurd, which should more than pay for my Enkangs. So like an Enkang over here, an Enkang over here, and then an Enkang over here. Perfect. So that should take care of that city. We're hard on growth right now. Now we want to pick up 3-masted ship like we talked about so we can start settling with all this influence that we're banking. Mexican war support has fallen down to 24. Enemy units over here, I wonder where they're heading. I think it might be safe to start moving out with these cogs. Just to be a little bit closer to whatever these guys are going to plan. Cog and cog. Another cog. A cog, a cog, a cog, a cog. Keep spamming those cogs. I really like playing gold-based civs because it means that I can use a single city for production, right? I spam out all my units from one city. And then the rest of my cities are working on eco, so I'm able to wage war while not falling behind economically. That feels kind of nice to me. It's like it really appeals to the way that I like to play the game. So Kilwa, as far as I'm concerned, is fully built now. The only thing that it's missing is like maybe a harbor. I don't think that's worth it. Let's go ahead and attach lore next turn once we have the gold. For now, just put a turn into an alchemist and we shall see how she goes. We have now silver agrarian. If we can hit gold agrarian super early, that's a lot of score. They're super far ahead in terms of score, but I think we can catch them. I think we can catch them before they can end the game. So let's attach lore W. Perfect. Another expansionist star. 2 more territories. So that'll be something we're working on this era, is getting those expansionists nice and early. Let's do another Enkang. There's 30. Well, I don't want to put it there. Could I put it somewhere else? Because I want to build my research quarters here, is the thing. So the thing is, you want this to not be adjacent to things that you're going to exploit. That's the thing about the Enkang, right? Because like here, it's only getting like a little bit of food. So I might just tuck it over here in the corner and get like a suboptimal one. You know what, here's fine. So I might be able to get a sneaky attack here on this embarked army. The idea of that kind of excites me a little bit. If I could get like a really, really clean kill on this embarked army with my guys, because I'm pretty sure they have like super crappy, and I mean super crappy transports right now. So if I can hit them before they research better transports, it's like game over for them. There we go, Saltpeter. I'm very happy with how Zinkera is developing. I really feel like this city still needs jobs, like it's missing hamlets, to the point where an Enkang might not be the play here. Like, do I really need more food? Not really. We've only got 3 job slots open. I think another hamlet, just one hamlet, would be fine. Maybe a research quarter for science. And then an Enkang can be justified quite easily. You know what I mean? Am I going to put a city here? Not until I have 3-masted ship. So I'm now officially in their territory. Population, okay, cool. And population falling. Units receive damage when ending their turn because he became lost at sea. I need to know what this hotkey is. Does anyone know what the skip turn hotkey? What does spacebar do? How about spacebar is going to be, because in my brain, tapping spacebar is like how you stop units from acting. You just click space, click space. Like, I don't have a plan for you this turn. You click space, basically, is how I usually play these games. Having good hotkeys when you're playing these games is actually a significant advantage, because it means you can get through more turns in less time. 15 science per city is huge. That's going to help a lot, actually. I think most of the civs are pretty good. There's a few that I don't think are very good. So we now have gold, agrarian. I do think we want to attach another 2 territories. I think I'm just going to do that just to get that star. And here's how we're going to do it. No, I'll wait one more turn to do it. One more turn, and then we'll do it. So here's the thing. I want to have a battle limited to water. Because if they go get on land, they're going to start shooting me. But here's the thing. I need to make sure they can't land troops. Like, their units can't start on land is the most important thing here for me. I think if I cut them off by like swinging around at this weird angle. Yeah, if I can catch them here, I think, yes, retreat into my boat. And now you're trapped. Perfect. So we're going to manually battle this. End deployment. So I want to get as many kills here as possible to try and force a peace. And thankfully my cows can one-shot their boats. So this is perfect. So unless they can get their own boats in on this, it's over for them. So that's a full enemy army stack wiped, which should be enough, combined with the retreat, to force peace And then I can like maybe hurt their empire. Whoa, look at this yoinking. They yoinked this city. Amazing. Khmer, you're doing work. So we're building a doom stack over here to go to war later. It's going to be an expensive upgrade, upgrading all these units. Thankfully though, I have serious money. All right, what's going on here? Celebrating on, yeah, sure. Now we could enter into the next era, which they're already Mexico. The next civ that we're going to be, because we're doing an all African run, is probably going to be the Ethiopians. +5 science on garrisons, which will help me with my stability quite a bit. Kind of a more defensive civ, but the Oromo cavalry could be based as hell. I'm going to try them out. I do think Ethiopians are one of the weaker guys, but they are militaristic, and we do want to be going to war probably in the next era to try and, drag, crab bucket. We got to drag them back down. But that was a pretty good slaughter. That was a huge amount of enemy production, gold, etc. investment that we just kind of took out of the game there. So I'm happy about that. 3-masted ship. Perfect. We have colony plan. We have settlers available. Settlers is huge. Just by the by. We have caravels. Better naval transports, although not that much better than what we already had. Victory in the war. We talk to them. Now, we can just take war reps. I'm forcing them to convert to my religion. I'm forcing them to sign a trade treaty with me. And I may be able to yoink like a little bit of land. Like, what's this? Where's this? Where's Kraz? Kraz is over here on the border. Like, I can yoink it. So I think yoinking just a little bit of their land here is like amazing. There's no point converting it to money because it's like a single turn's worth of money. But if I can like take a little bite out of their empire, okay, hear me out. This is what we're going to do. Hear me out. Take a little bite out of their empire and be like, oh, what's that? Oh, you guys had like plans for this land? You guys had really, really good plans? What if I just popped a city here on your border and then started attaching land to it? You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm in your business. How do you feel about that? It feels pretty good to me that I'm like in their business being annoying. So I think my next major goal is to just get rid of the Goths, do a little bit of city housekeeping, maybe merge a couple of cities. I think I also need to consider expanding by building settlers. Like I could just crack out a settler here in my capital and drop a city in here to expand out. Vassalize the Goths. Is vassalizing worth it? I feel like I should just conquer them. No? Would I not just take the land for myself? So there's 3-masted ships. Arquebusiers. Patronage rush for sure. Now their rebel problem is also their problem. I mean, I haven't even seen rebels, to be honest with you. Like, I don't see any rebels. None of their cities have flipped like independent. The real meme is now I am their problem, just in general. And like, the real bonus meme is just like carpeting this whole landmass in garrisons to make it absolutely horrendous to fight me. Yeah, that's right. I'm not above it. Buy the trade from them. I think our trade, oh my god, our trade routes got deactivated. Wait, I forced them to trade with me. What? I just won a war to force them to trade with me and they're refusing still? What? Our grandfathers died for this right to trade with this empire. What? I don't understand. How are you feeling today? I'm feeling much better, buddy. I'm really confused. Trade war part 2, I guess. Settlers are only useful on free land. The main advantage of settlers is that I can build them with production and not my extremely limited influence. That's the main advantage. Raise conquered land and use a settler to rebuild. I didn't conquer this. I built it. I used the click. I clicked this button. The colony plan. That's why this thing has all infrastructure built automatically. That's why it's able to pump out a garrison every couple of turns. I didn't actually take cities. I took I'm brain farting so hard right now. I took unsettled land, outposts. We have another builder star. We can get this one pretty quick too. It's a lot of aero score. The value of these is now starting to dip. We've got 17k. So now I need to start thinking about mergers and acquisitions. Like, does Zunkera and Mycenae really need to be separate cities? Do they? Mycenae absorbing Zunkera is a lot cheaper than Zunkera absorbing Mycenae. I wish you would give me a better breakdown of what this price difference is so that I could like take steps towards fixing the price difference. You know what I mean? Zunkera has a better name. Damn it, it's true. By merging, I free up more city slots to expand. Macumba and Garama could honestly combine too. The problem is food would be tough without the Enkangs built. So we gotta wait for the Enkangs. The value is determined by the different of infrastructure. Yeah, I get that, but it's more like I wish the game would kind of give me a little bit more of an upfront analysis. Like say, hey, here's why. Like here's a breakdown of how you could reduce this price. So looking at Kilwa again, I think our plan was to continue to just develop Kilwa into a very powerful city. It's doing well. It's doing well on its own. Any trade routes here? No trade routes. God, I'm really pissed off that they won't trade with me. Let's redirect our anger at the Goths, I think. And just drop like whole stacks upon their head. Where are all my army stacks? Make your way up here to the north, just be defensive. Maybe feudalism should make vassals more viable. I don't know how unviable vassals are, so it's been a while since I've played, so we're kind of in the discovery phase of things. No, don't go there. There's our settler. So I'm thinking Kilwa will own most of this. I'd like a settler to go do something over here. We've got this, parsimonious, or science investing. I think science investing is better for me, because I have lots of gold, but not too much science. I'm only on 1,000 science per turn. Let's upgrade these swordsmen to great swordsmen. And then these archers to what I assume are crossbowmen. Spearmen to pikemen. And we can go kill the Goths in like a couple turns. I'm going to like make a demand. Probably just do a surprise war because I have no way to like lower my relations with them. Upgrade these soldiers too. And then upgrade these pikemen too. Boom. There's some knights to join the fray. Learning on 7 targets. Yeah, I think we want to keep the science pumping. Your achievements are many. Your lands are beautiful since the times of antiquity. Like Baikal. So this is like a generated story here. I heard that true and things until now. Popular playwright in Mykonaid's adapted event for Saga. A saga of exploration and high adventure, replete with dramatic embellishments and lavicious romance. The people are thrilled, and you hear it is not half bad. Perhaps you should grace the theatre. So I can attend the theatre or pass on it and go for a more militaristic thing. I think I want that. That science seems really good here. DIY civilization. Okay, so Matt, all right, so some of you guys coming here from Total War, I gotta be like looking at this game and being like, what the hell is going on? And you know what? Sometimes I look at this game and I think the exact same thing. This is Humankind. It's a 4X game based around the concept of leading humanity from the Neolithic age all the way to the future age. You got yourself a big old fat tech tree that you can work your way through. We're pretty deep into this game. You start off in the ancient era. You start doing things like flood irrigation, which gives you extra food off of rivers. You do fishing. You can build harbors. You unlock things like boats. You make your way through the tech tree. And then you get things like seafaring mastery, where you can start to explore, over the ocean. You could build hamlets, you get knights and tourney fields, and you make all the way along the tech tree eventually until you're doing like you're launching cruise missiles, you're building drone assistant fertilizer farms, you're building solar power, although I feel like that should probably come before the drone assistant fertilizer farm. But listen, factory farming, you've got mass entertainment like with the cinema, although again I feel like that should come a little bit earlier. So it's actually a pretty cool, it is turn-based, 100% turn-based. So like I come in here, I click on this city. Here is like all the yields of the city, all the resources that are coming in over here. Here's your food, here's your industry, your production used to produce things, your money. Unlike in Total War, where I think things take a set amount of time per turn in a city, like if you're upgrading a building, it takes always 4 turns. In this game, the amount of turns that something takes to produce is based on the industry that you make. In my opinion, industry is like a controversial yield in these kind of games because how fast you produce something like completely dictates the pace of the game. So industry is always the best resource to have, which is kind of why I like the grand strategy layer of Total War, because things always take like a set amount of time to produce. It means I don't feel like I have to always invest into production to build things faster. And I can just think about like, ooh, I get this new unit, or ooh, I want this money, or The downside of Total War is like empire management, in my opinion, is that you don't get to do things like you manage your population, like by producing, a certain amount of food. Although they do have that kind of in some of the games have that in different respects, and you have money, but you kind of have science. I really like this numbers aspect of this. So if you're like a Total War fan who really likes this kind of numbers gameplay, you'll enjoy this. Otherwise, you'll find it tedious and annoying. But you can move population around. Like say I'm like, oh god, I need more science. I can like grab population here from like farming, and put them into science. And now I've got more scientists, right? It's kind of like a little bit of a micromanagement game here. You can also just set it to like auto do things. You build stuff over here. So like I can build units. Let me make this bigger so you can kind of see the pictures a little bit easier. You've got halberdiers. You've got settlers to make new cities. Every single one of these like flags, the big flags denote a city. The little flags denote an outpost. You can't really build much in an outpost. It just kind of like makes a little bit of population and you can put like a harbor in it. But if you played games like Civ 4, Civ 5, Civ 6, you kind of get the gist of it. I think the thing that really stands this game out is that in a lot of these games, like you have a unit, say, like, let's say I just have like these knights here. And like in a lot of these games, you like walk them into the enemy and then they like automatically fight, and then like a dice is rolled and you win or you lose. This game actually has like fully modeled, not like tactical battles. So like, and it's honestly the most fun part of the game, especially in multiplayer. Like multiplayer with friends of like equal skill level is like incredible. So like if I walk up to this tile and attack this city, it'll like take this actual world map, generate like a kind of battlefield area, and then all the units will kind of unstack from these army stacks that are walking around and fight out the battle over the thing. Actually, you know, I'm going to declare war on these guys next turn to show you guys that. Also, if you are from Legend of Total War, which I super appreciate you, by the way, for rating me, go check out, if you get the Xbox Game Pass, you can play this game for like $3 or something. Insane. If you are curious. How does this make Papa Nurgle feel? I would 100% play a Warhammer mod for Humankind, for sure. I don't know if you guys have played Warhammer Relics of War. It's a 40k game now, to be fair, but super, super great. So looking at the city, my capital city, I would like to start building the Taj Mahal. So I'm going to go ahead and place that down here in my capital city. And over time, that will get built here. Now, this is what we call like an empire-wide project. So I can like click here and assign every single, you can see here this number underneath the 26 turns. If I assign all of my cities to work this, you can see that number is going down pretty quick. However, the downside is all of my cities are working on this for 5 turns. So like nothing is being produced in my empire if I assign everyone to this except this. But it's really, really good because it gives me plus 50% money across my empire. So I think I might work on that right now. Not gonna lie, kind of chill stream, Legend hosted. I'm here to stay. Thank you so much. What cultures did you pick? Sure thing. So in this game, as you advance through the eras, every time you go from like ancient era to the classical era, for example, so you can see here, here's like the ancient era right up here. And then we go to the next era, the classical era. Every time you pass one of these like diagonal lines in the tech tree, whether it's by culture or whatever thing you do, you get to pick a new culture. So like for here, we're playing the Maasai. This is our current one. We can stay as the Maasai and get 10% extra score in the game, or, which is accumulating scores, how you win. Or we can like advance from the early modern era to the industrial era. We could play as the Austro-Hungarians. We could be British. We could be Ethiopian. And every single one of these guys has their own affinity, bonuses, unique units, unique districts. So like, let's say Germans. The Germans have extra combat strength on their naval units, iron ordnance, extra combat strength on their air units, and units are cheaper to produce with industry. So they can produce a lot of units, and their air and navy is really, really powerful. They also have the coking works, which gives them a lot of production, a lot of pollution, which is a mechanic that kind of comes in, introduced into the game in the industrial era. Too much pollution causes like severe ecological damage in your city. And you can kind of mitigate it in the late game. Just like I told you, DIY civs. Yeah, it's kind of cool. And the Germans are militarists, so they're really encouraged to go to war. And they also have the U-boat. I'm playing the Cultures of Africa DLC, which is based around basically all of the culture, like a whole bunch of cultures in Africa. So that's why, for example, if I go back through my thing here, if I go back through, you can see in the Neolithic era, you start off as like a nomadic tribe. Then in the ancient era, we were the Bantu people. They were expansionists. We were able to do some crazy stuff, settling a whole bunch of tiles. Then the classical era, like we capped, like look at this, gold star, gold star, gold star, gold star, gold star, gold star, bronze star. Like we got all the gold stars in the ancient era. We like got insane score. In the classical era, a little bit worse, okay? 5 gold stars, 2 silver. Not great. But these are an agrarian civ who focuses on growing food. It's the Garamantes, and they built these things, the Fagara, that gives you a ton of food, especially extra food from terrain you wouldn't normally be able to farm. So there's kind of like a mechanic in this game where when you're building infrastructure, like little districts, you can only place them adjacent to other districts. However, there's an exception made for districts like the Fagara. I think, where is the Fagaras that I placed? Forgive me, I am blind. Where are my Fagaras? Hold on. Let me turn on this mode. Is this one? No, that's an admin. That's an Enkang. Ah, here they are. Fagaras. So the unique thing about Fagaras is they can be placed anywhere. And there's a couple of districts that can do that, like the Hamlet here. It's a pretty unique district. You can place it anywhere. And the interesting thing about the Hamlet is it acts as an anchoring point where you can build other districts off. So like these basic districts, you can usually only build them off of already existing infrastructure. So if you look and you see these highlighted tiles, that's where I can build it. Like I can't just place it over here. I have to place it here or here or here or here or here or here. Could never understand the rules, get something you have to play to get into it and understand. I watched tons of your streams of this and I still have no idea how to play it. I should probably do more explaining. Also, is the music like super loud or am I crazy? It feels like so loud to me. I just need to lower my own sound, I think. What was I going to say? Yeah, so like the game is just like super, super cool in a lot of different ways. It's not like the best 4X game I've ever played, but it has like the kind of potential where it could be like one of the really, really good ones. So you can do all sorts of really, really cool stuff. So let's get to that war that we talked about, right? I teased the war. Let's do it. This is like a rump state, tiny piece of like, you can look how much I expanded, dude. I own like half the map, but I still need to build up like the resources to actually turn it into cities is the thing. Also, this orange player, he snowballed to a ridiculous degree and currently has like 3,000 more score than me. And they're an era ahead. So yeah, they're public enemy number 1 and I need to kill them. I actually think I was the one I killed one of these two empires earlier. And I think it was like, they were like the Mycenaeans or something, which is like an early version of the Greeks. Also, this game is like, one of my favorite things about this game is you click end turn and the turn just ends. There's no like, the game doesn't hitch and random, like things just, you hit end turn and you're in the next turn, like basically instantaneously. So there's a couple of things going on here. This empire is now needy. So these guys are really weak and we're allies with them. And I'm allies with the Khmer specifically because the Khmer border the orange player and I want to have an ally against orange because orange is like kind of scary and big. They have like 1 million boats. So they're needy. So they're really dependent upon me, which is quite good for me because I can buy all their resources and I can, potentially open up treaties like customs unions or scientific agreements. Actually, I think the 5% science here is like huge. Why would you refuse that? What is wrong with you? Anyway, it's those benefits. The Mexicans hate me. They super hate me because they declared war on me and I won. I beat them and I forced them to pay me reparations. I stole a few chunks of unoccupied land inside their territory. Just to like, I got to deal with them, dude. They got to go. And now I think while I'm waiting for my war support to recover so we can go to war with the Mexicans again, I'm going to go ahead and start building. I'm going to take out the Goths over here because they're useless at this point. So we just declared the surprise war. Boom. We're now at war with the Goths. They're going to like move their armies around to try and stop me, but they've got like swordsmen and archers. I'm rocking, great swordsman, 42 combat strength, ridiculous units. Like, look at that power preview. He's got 2 army stacks, and I still am favored to win. So yeah, they're pretty, pretty weak. So this is the thing I was talking about earlier. You can see how when I hover over attacking this army, based on the angle that I attack, the white highlighted area is like the battle map that we're going to be fighting on. And then the color is where the initial armies are going to be deployed. But every single one of those tiles in white is actually available for war. But I'm going to go ahead and straight up just attack their city because why wouldn't I? Let's have these units on the flank. And before I actually do the full attack, let's go ahead and upgrade all of these pikemen to halberdiers. Now, pikemen are 37 combat strength, whereas halberdiers are 41. But because I have so many unit upgrades, they're actually 47 combat strength because I have professional soldiers, meditate often, I have a really strong ideology. So now we're going to initiate the siege. We'll begin the assault. And you can see here's the battlescape. Like, so wherever this white line is where like this little tactical battle is going to happen. This is going to be like a really easy battle, unfortunately. I don't get to show you like one of the cool massive battles that I've had in multiplayer. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can take out this battle, and then I got to go play in D&D. So whatever, this auto deployment will work. It's fine. We're massively outnumber them. And the really cool thing about this, by the way, is you can bring reinforcements into this battle. You can have a battle like this rage, and every time you add an army to it, the map, like the battle map, gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So like in the early game, you might fight over like, you know, like this like tiny chunk of the map. But then when you get into the late game, when you've got like artillery, like siege artillery and machine guns, and, you know, conscripts being pumped out, like you could legitimately have like a battle map that like goes from like this city to like this. It's just like this massive, huge battle map with like 80 units in it that you have to like manage. So it's like, well, 80 is maybe an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Battles can get big. It's really, really cool. Let's go ahead and jump into the battle if we can with these knights. Knights are a little bit low tech at this point for me and for the orange player, but for fighting the Scythian Goth player, okay, you didn't quite make it to the battle. That's okay. Let's start off with our crossbows. Now, the interesting thing about crossbowmen is that they are, I believe, direct fire units. So they have to have line of sight of the enemy in order to shoot at them. So that means you can't have anything blocking their way. So crossbowmen are kind of like, they're not quite melee units, but they have to have like a clear vision. Like if I were to stand here, I wouldn't be able to shoot. If you look and see, depending on where you're going to step to, units will get highlighted in red if you can shoot at them. So if I go here, I'll actually be able to shoot across this valley, right, at this guy, because you need to have clean, direct line of sight for the unit you're shooting at. And that's just like one of the important rules of crossbowmen. It's a bit fiddly, and it's like slightly annoying, but that's not the end of the world. So I should be able to completely obliterate this. Like if you look here, I've got 43 combat strength, they've got 36. They are like in fortifications, they're defending, and they're like citizen units, which usually have an extra combat strength bonus. But I should very easily be able to break into this city. Now, unfortunately, cavalry can't actually attack walls, so probably shouldn't have had cavalry deployed by the walls. I could have sat here and like sieged down the city over time and built like siege equipment, like in Total War, where you spend time, you siege the city, you build ladders, you build battering rams, you build stuff like that. But like I've got overwhelming force here. This isn't a hard battle. I should have shot first with my crossbowman. I messed up there. Let's go here and shoot him, and then attack there. You attack there. Yeah, I'm looking pretty happy with this. I'll just end my round. So there's 3 rounds of combat per turn of the game, and the battle can happen over multiple turns. So there'll be 12 like back and forths in total in this battle before it's resolved. In reality, most battles end way before you ever reach that limit. So just keep that in mind. So now I can actually get my pikemen to scale the walls of the city, and now they're in position above ground here. You can see I'm getting +4 combat strength from being on the high ground. And I believe I'm not getting flanking for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, but it was a pretty easy battle, right? We killed them. And now we occupy this city. So now we just need to take on Hattusa. And then I think once we've done that and we've killed off all their armies, I think we just win, right? Their war support has dipped significantly because I'm occupying their city. But yeah, Legend of Total War is a legend. His timing on the host was a little bit poor though, because I gotta go play D&D. I love you all very much. Thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.